One or nothing, or more of observing and assessing. Actions. Well, in a street fight, actions are more of a lateral type of footwork. We're responsive. We're not 100% defensive. We're side to side, we're moving. We are going to inflict damage over here, but we're in long range. We're moving, we're assessing this guy. Does he have a boxing structure? Does he have a Thai boxing structure? Is he an MMA fighter? What is it? Are his friends involved? So, but at the same time, we don't want to be passive and we do not want to be 100% defensive. We may move back because we have to, but then we want to go off to the side. So our actions, if you can get the analogy, are going to be more playful, right? We're going to move, and you aren't going forward, but you're not going back. Okay, so obviously, our actions on this are 100% offensive. When we're punching, we punch uninterruptedly. When we deliver our big tools, it's going to be our elbows, knees, headbutts, thumbs in the eyes, knee in the groin, and maybe a bite if we have to. It's the most vicious things you can do to somebody in the least amount of time. So you have to have this squared away. It's not that if somebody picks a fight with me or attacks me and I outclass them that I'm going to do this to them. You will injure to a degree. It's not that you'll black out and go, oh my God, I just destroyed this guy. You will have, if you have any sort of moral code, it's not something, this is focused. But the intent behind it, should I need to go there, it's there for me. Make sense? If you need it, it's there. Hopefully you'll never need it. It's the gun, it's a 45 in your back pocket. You'll never pull it. But you know you have it, and they can sense you have it, right? That's when you start getting killer instinct, when people can sense that, and I'll share what Phil shared with me. Phil's one of my students back there, and he was just sharing a story with me that at his work, in his new job, he blew away the guys who have been there for a while, he blew away their numbers the last 2 weeks. Is that right? So these guys, a little bit jealous of him, they started messing with him in a call. During a call, they unplugged his headphones, okay? So Phil wanted to kill them, and Phil trains, so he wants to straight blast these guys. But of course, he can't do that. So Phil, what does he do? His killer instinct is just as much about this over here, calming himself, right, in the face of the feelings that he wants to kill these guys. He has to control his reaction to those feelings, okay? And all he gave them was a look. Maybe you said so. What'd you say?
I just told him no.
No.
I told him no.
Told him no.
No, but
It wasn't no, don't do it. They got, like, it was the nonverbal no. Like, they could sense there was something else there because he trains. When guys can, and you don't have to train, but you can still get that feeling. A father will do it to his child, no. But it's that when you're doing it to another man, right, and you have that, there's that innate thing that we have fought and bled and died for, that pecking order, all of that we've earned as a species is there. And when you have that, other men will notice. It's not about being alpha or an AMOG or any of that, but it's having an emotion, tapping into an emotion that can be used for very bad things. And other men will notice that. But like I said, it's not around, you don't show it off. When you choose to show it off, they'll know. But, half you guys, I'm sure, if I was walking around, aren't going to go, oh, that guy's really tough. And I'm not tough. I'm not tough at all. Remember, I was the drum major, you guys. So I'm not, believe me, I am anything but tough, but I am trained. And I can go there. And if you attack me or my family or cut me off in traffic, I'm going to kill you. Okay? So, but those are the actions. And now we get to the emotions. Okay? What are the emotions behind this? Because that's the biggest thing really in this whole thing, is tapping into your emotions and subsequently being able to silence them to some degree. We can never, if you're a moral, compassionate, normal human being, turn off your emotions without severe side effects. You can't. So there are people that don't have emotions, right? Sociopaths, or they get some sick sort of emotion out of really bad things, right? Or even with training, we see the whole reason for PTSD is because of the emotional side. Not the whole reason, but that has a big impact upon it, right? We don't stifle these emotions. They'll happen. Your mind and your brain will react to violence. and it will imprint you. So whether it's violence or whatever it is, we don't control our emotions, but we can get to the point where our emotions don't control us. So we control our reactions to our emotions, and that in turn will help to dispel the emotions. Okay? So when I get up, was I nervous before when I first got here? Hell yeah, I was nervous. Was I nervous before that? Yeah. In street fights, and I've had plenty of street fights, bad situations. The buildup of the street fights, was I ever nervous? Yeah, every time. Especially when somebody's mouthy and they're directing it towards me and you know it's coming, right? You just know. I hate that because all those memories of the kids in class, like you're getting it after class, we're going to beat your ass, and just sitting there and taking it, all that comes up too, right? But the moment the fight happens with training, none of that exists. It doesn't. And over time, the more I do this, the feeling comes up, I can dissipate it. It's a high-level state control, right? It's just like approach anxiety. Same thing. But with time and with practice, people can start to control that approach anxiety. And there are top guys, I'm sure, who always have it, it never goes away, or sometimes it's not there, but sometimes it is. But it's your reaction and how you react to that that will help determine the outcome. Okay? So our emotions, when we are out here, when we're non-rattled, right? We want to have some sort of detachment, but we want to almost be aloof. Okay? We want some sort of emotional attachment, but it's more of aloofness. You don't care. You're not attached to the outcome, but yet you are attached to the process, right? You care about the process. You're involved. You're present, but you're not attached to any outcome, right? In the fight, it's like, oh shit, that was a nice shot. Ooh, watch out for that. Oh yeah, Maybe you're talking shit a little bit. Once you get good, you might, nice shot, right? Because you want to take them from a 10 down to a 2, so shit talking has its place. But our emotions on this, what are they? When we decide to kick in, it's every bad intention you could imagine. You have utter disdain for this person in front of you. It's rage, it's fear, it is commitment, right? It is just pure destruction. It is chaotic because you need it at that moment, because if you don't have it, you're going to be overwhelmed, or perhaps you will die. So you have to kick into it. But if you do that without this, you may not have control. And this happens to people all the time. They're in their box, and they've never experienced this. And all of a sudden they get fired. And all of a sudden their girlfriend breaks up with them. All of a sudden their dog gets run over. All of a sudden they find themselves here without ever having been here, and now they're popping off rounds in their old workplace, right? Because it consumes them. They don't know how to deal with it. And that's not what we want. We want the ability to turn it on and turn it off. On and off. So our emotions are whatever to the nth degree when they're expressed, we have to feel it. So we have to conjure that up.